Excellent. Well, good morning, everyone, or good
Hello.
afternoon, good evening, whenever you watch this video. So, thank you so much to Dani for joining us today. Dani is a vitality coach, and she's pretty amazing. She helped me last year really look at my nutrition and a lot of my habits and different things like that to help me sort of get more in tune with my body and more on track. And I think we're probably 12, 13 kilos later. Um, so,
Amazing.
yay! So I really wanted to bring Dani here today because I know a lot of you are feeling and have been in that sort of situation where you're busy all the time and you're not really getting the time to spend on you. So welcome, Dani. Thank you so much for
Thank
joining
you.
us.
Thanks for having me, Teresa. You know, this absolutely rocks my world. And as you spoke about, and as we did a brief stint last year, it's just like two friends chatting. I just love doing what I do. And when I see women thriving, oh my God, it just makes me feel amazing. So my absolute pleasure to be here today.
Awesome. So I know to start off, would you like to tell everyone sort of what you do specifically and how you help people so that they can get a good understanding?
Absolutely. And I'm still defining my core message because I am a trained holistic performance nutrition coach. So it looks at the whole snapshot and not just the food that we're eating. So it's how can we improve our performance, whether it's to get more out of our busy day, whether we're training to do a marathon or a triathlon, or whether we just want to be able to run around a little bit faster and longer with our kids. So it's performance in some way. Now, I adore working with women. And what I want to do is help bridge the gap from where women are right now and where they want to be and the women that they desire to be, and bring those two together so that their actions align with their values and their intentions. So a big part of it is around food, but more importantly, it's actually honoring the woman that you are and creating a lifestyle that's sustainable and healthy. So yes, those two can go hand in hand. There's no dieting and there's no restriction. So it's just finding a way that works for each individual woman, and we're all so different.
Yeah.
So that's what rocks my world.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I love that holistic approach because we are all different. We're not the same. And so fitting us into, which I know we were sneaking a conversation in we went on today, sneaking everyone into a certain diet definitely does not benefit everyone because we're
absolutely. And then as soon as the word diet comes up, Teresa, I automatically think restriction, no alcohol, as we spoke about, and no living a full life. So that diet is always going to have an expiry. So this is about getting rid of the diet and creating lifestyle changes so that it just becomes part of your day.
That is so true. And I know, when we're really busy, it's hard to be mindful of ourselves. And I know you have some beautiful tips to share with us today on how to, nourish ourselves during that really busy, crazy, hectic time.
Absolutely. And you know what, Teresa, you just nailed my first point, and that is being mindful. So when we are in our crazy busy day, how many of us sit down at our laptop, we've got our coffee, we might have had some breakfast, and then we work, client calls, might have to do something with the kids, and then we've got calls and we've got something else to do. And then it's the afternoon, and then we have a quick break, and it's like, oh my God, feed me now. I'm going to literally pass out. I'm going to open the cupboards and then I raid it. Yeah. So this happens so much. So my advice is to be mindful, as you said as well. So create blocks of work. Maybe create a 45-minute block of work with no distraction, and then give yourself 5-10 minutes. Am I thirsty? Am I hungry? Do I need to go and have a walk? Do I need to clear my head a little bit? And then that's just you checking in at those key little moments between the blocks of work to go, great, I'm going to nourish myself. Perfect. I need to go and get a drink of water because I'm feeling thirsty. Or, oh, that was intense. I'm just going to go and walk around the block, walk down the road, and just relax and chill before my next block of intensive work. So that would be my tip number one, is being mindful and being conscious.
Absolutely. And I really love how you've mentioned about doing blocks of work. That's definitely something that we do in the Balanced Entrepreneur Circle as well.
Nice.
We focus on 3 tasks a day, small chunks, and then to leave the desk, to eat, to breathe, to play, whatever.
That's it. Bringing the joy into your day, because being in business is fun. We are doing our soul work and our passion. So we've got to make it fun. But if we're not fueling ourselves and nourishing ourselves, and we're kind of running on empty, and it just becomes not fun. So, and interestingly, Teresa, I have been one of these women that have worked with a million tabs open. I'll start an email, I'll do a Facebook post, I'll go to my MailChimp, and I'm like, stop it. Write down those key things, chunk them into blocks, and give yourself some breaks. And when I do that, I achieve so much more. And I'm nourished, not only mentally, but through my food and my drink as well.
Yeah, and it's actually a proven fact that multitasking doesn't save you time.
Hell no.
No, I know us women are very skilled at it.
We kind of have to be, but it's not conducive to getting a lot of work done.
No, especially work-wise. I mean, I know if you're trying to multitask, like holding a child and washing the dishes, sometimes that can be productive.
Could be a bit of exercise at the same time. Like I'm working one arm, then I'm going to work the other arm.
But when it comes to work specifically, focusing on that one task is very, very important. So that's very right.
Yes.
And what would your second tip be?
My second tip, and it's based around having your bounty of food and snacks ready. So whether it's on the weekend, whether it's of a nighttime, whether you get online shopping, intuitively choose your snacks that you know are going to fuel you and make you feel good. Like there's that old saying, look, I know what to eat, I know what's good for me. So feel in to the week, feel like what you want to snack on. So this week for me, it's been the thin rice crackers and peanut butter. Yeah. Other weeks it's peanut butter and apple or carrot sticks. Are you noticing a theme? I love my peanut butter. But where I'm coming from is choose your snacks so that you don't have to think about in your little 5-10 minute break, oh, I've got no food, but I'm starving. What do I do? Oh, I don't know. So you've got everything ready, and just have it either by your desk or have it in the kitchen. So you just go and have your whatever snack it is. And I love eggs, so sometimes it'll just be a quick egg scramble with some tomatoes thrown in. It takes me 5 minutes to prep. So it's the preparation is key. And I'd love to also, at the end of this, I know we're going to do a giveaway, but I've got some ideas for snacks if you're not too sure. So I've got some snacks to help fuel your day as well.
Yeah, perfect. And boiled eggs is a good one too. If that 5 minutes to you feels like a long time.
I know.
Sometimes it does. But boil some at the start of the week and have them in the fridge. It's such a yummy, amazing treat.
They're a great snack. And I, like you, I boil up a batch and then I'll have them in a bowl in the fridge, and then I just peel one and I'll have some Himalayan rock salt with it too. Just dip it in there and oh, so good.
Yeah.
That's a great snack.
Turmeric on top.
Yum. So some anti-inflammatory as well going on.
Do it. I have it on everything pretty much.
Lovely.
I water in the morning as well with my lemon and cayenne pepper.
To help speed up the metabolism naturally.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it just feels, it makes your body feel nice from the inside. I like it.
Perks you up. It's just a natural, oh, here we go, ready now.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, snacks are a really imperative part. And preparation is an imperative part for sure.
Absolutely.
Excellent. And what is your third tip?
Number 3 is kind of like a 2, but I'm going to make it a 1, and I'll tell you why. So it's setting up your day in the right way. So everyone's different, but I love a little ritual of getting up and expressing gratitude that my feet are touching the floor for another day. And for me, there's some kind of moving my body involved. I love going to the gym and I love lifting weights, and that is a non-negotiable for me. I will not do anything until I've done my exercise. I know, and this is all about when we're busy, So it's doing something for 10, 15 minutes, whether it's a brisk walk, listening to a podcast, or just your favorite music, or getting into nature, or doing some Pilates on a video. You know, it's finding some way to move your body to get everything moving so that then everything flows so nicely in the business. And I guess that's part of the self-care that comes into it too. So it's starting your day and setting it up for you to have the most productive day after that.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's really important is the moving your body part. Even a lot of people, when they think of exercise, have this kind of negative, like, oh, no. But when we change that word to movement, it kind of makes it feel so much better and nicer.
Exactly.
That movement has so many benefits. It like gets the blood running. If you're outside, you're out in nature, you're breathing in fresh air, you're not focusing on, you know, what's happening, especially working from home.
Exactly.
We spend a lot of time in our
home, in our office. Yes.
So it's good to get out and move your body and, you know, get the blood flowing.
That's exactly it. And part of being in the holistic space is that I'm not going to tell you what kind of exercise to do, because what I love, everyone else may not love. Yeah. And it's that whole exercise. So moving your body. How do I want to move my body? One woman I coach puts on her favorite music and dances around her house like a lunatic for 30 minutes. And by the end of it, she's sweating and her heart rate she's puffing. I'm like, do you know what? If you're having fun and you love it, keep it. Yeah. Because if you can involve fun and movement at the same time, how amazing is that? And you go into your day and it's like, yes, I'm feeling really good.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's so important. It has to be fun and it has to be something that you love doing. Yeah. And that's why I'm always encouraging, you know how when you're younger and you do all these really cool things, and then when you get older, you kind of just decide that we just don't do it anymore. Like
that's it. They fall by the wayside. And that's a big thing of what I do as well. It's like, what brings you pure, unadulterated joy? And how can you get that every day, even if it's 5 minutes a day? Yeah. What does that look like to you? Yeah. You know, some people are like, oh, you know, well, I like doodling, or I like writing, or just sitting down and reading. Yeah. Well, why aren't you allowed to do it? Who says you're not allowed?
Exactly.
We do. And why?
Yeah. And it's adding those things into your life that help you create that balanced lifestyle so that it is, you know, fun and enjoyable and not just all very one-dimensional for work or whatever you're doing at that time.
That's it. If you can bring that fun element in, how much better is your day going to flow?
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. And so obviously, yeah, we're all sort of in the same boat trying to run around and do stuff. Do you have a certain day that you feel is a great prep day for you, or you just...
On the weekend. So I either go to, I'm lazy, I get online shopping, and then I also go to a local market that's not far from my home as well to get all my fresh produce. So that's when I tend to prep, and I think about the meals that I'm going to prep for the week. And, you know, they're really simple. Yeah. I'm probably one of the only nutritionists that you'll see that's not stood behind a blender or here's something I produced earlier, because I just don't really enjoy the cooking. Yeah. So it's quick and easy for a busy lifestyle. So the weekends for me tend to work, and they work for my clients as well, when you've kind of, you know, taking a step out of work and you're in your life with your family, partner, whoever it is. And, you know, especially a Sunday is okay, Monday tomorrow, let's get everything done. And it doesn't take long. No. You know, boiling up a batch of eggs or chopping some carrot sticks for your snacks or celery sticks. Nice and quick and easy.
Yeah. And if you're ever on the road visiting clients and stuff, do you have like a little pack that you take with you? Like,
I do. I've got a little bounty. So it will include some plant-based protein. And then I've got a bottle of water, so I can just add that, shake it up, and there's a snack for me. I'll have a hard-boiled egg in my little bounty. I will do a rice cracker sandwich. So it's 2 rice crackers with a big wedge of peanut butter in the middle. So that'll be another snack. I'll also do some almonds, but I've got to be careful with those babies, because 1 handful is considered a portion. And I don't know about you, but I could do 5 or 6 without a shadow of a doubt. So I'm careful with those ones. Or I'll do some sliced apple with some lemon juice squeezed over so it doesn't go brown, and some peanut butter in a little pot. So, or some kind of a nut and seed bar that's low in sugar. So I know that if I'm on the road all day, driving around or out and about, I just bust out a snack and I'm good and I'm satisfied. And there's always water that goes with it too.
Yeah.
I've always got a bottle of water with me.
Yeah, water is really important.
Yeah.
It brings me to a little snack thing that I was just thinking of. I know a lot of people are trying to do the right thing, so they get healthy protein bars.
Yes.
I'm using these ones for this
protein bar. Or they're healthy.
Yes, healthy.
Yeah.
Yes. Protein balls. I used to do the same. I used to buy these pre-done protein balls and protein bars, and that was my snack.
Yeah.
Some of them aren't what they say they are, though.
They're not. Just because they're a health food and they're full of natural ingredients, sugar is sugar, and it still behaves in the same way as the body, be it sugar from dates and maple syrup and honey and stevia, compared to your white processed refined sugar. So being mindful of the fact that just because it's, for example, 15 grams, and I'm just pulling a number out of thin air, which is about 3 teaspoonfuls.
Yeah.
So just because it's 15 grams of natural sugars, it's still sugar. So my biggest advice is to, when you're looking at the packet of whatever you're considering buying, forget the front that looks pretty, turn it around to the back and look for the ingredients and make sure that you recognize everything in that ingredient list, but also check for the grams of sugar in the packet. And for me, if it's got any more than 2 spoonfuls of sugar, so any more than 10 grams, I'm like, well, to me, that's not the best choice for me, because I want to keep it lower in sugar, because then if we open up that sugar train, we're just going to keep craving that sugar and we're like, where's the food? As opposed to having something nice and balanced with your protein, a little bit of fat and fiber as well, to stretch out how that snack is going to last us and our blood sugar stay nice and consistent.
Yeah. And I love that little trick too, like the 4 grams of sugar is 1 teaspoon.
Yeah.
So every time I look at the back now and see how many grams, so you would be surprised. So you know how many grams things have. So that's
exactly.
A really to
they can add up very easily. And we're not going to have the cake or the chocolate biscuits or the ice cream. So I'm going to make some healthy treats instead. And these healthy treats probably end up having more sugar than the ice cream or the cake, because it's healthy. I can have as much as I want. And then there goes all of the sugar and all of the blood sugar levels doing this, and the crash and the burn and all of that stuff that just makes us hangry and quite miserable.
Yeah. And I think you notice the difference. I spent a long time, I was training a lot, but eating that way, eating things that were healthy, but not really, lots of processed stuff still. And now that I eat a lot more cleaner and it's just real food, the difference in the health of your body, you can tell.
That's it. And it's just setting up that basis. So I like to look at, I'd say, an average work week, because a lot of us are in our own businesses. But if you think about a regular workplace, Monday to Friday, they're at work from a certain hour to a certain hour. And I kind of adopt this into my lifestyle and way of being. So Monday to Friday, I'm fueling my body in the best way for me to reach my goals that I've set for the week and to have a really productive work week. And then, on the weekend, if I've got date night, I want to go out for a drink with the girls, whatever it is, I just have what I feel like. And it's not, weekend comes, it's treat day, because I don't like labeling food.
No.
It's just, if I feel like having something, I will. The rest of the time I eat well in accordance to my intentions and how I want to live.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think since you've sort of taught me that as well, things are so much easier now. I think that's the whole thing too. We are so hard on ourselves. And one of the things I learned when I was becoming a health coach was that I was an emotional eater. I didn't know that until I started learning about these different characteristics.
Yes.
And when you start questioning why you're reaching for something and why you feel like that's naughty and why you're getting up yourself for doing this, when you start questioning that and realize that we're kind of, it's like the whole self-talk thing. Like if you talk to yourself nicely, then you feel nicely about yourself.
Absolutely. And Teresa, a big part of that is the consciousness coming back into it, the mindfulness, being in that moment. So I recognize that I'm a massive boredom eater. To just go and fill the time. I put the kettle on, I'll make a cup of tea, and I open the cupboard door automatically to go and get a snack. And then as soon as I say to myself, hang on, am I hungry? No. So what the hell am I reaching for food for?
Yeah.
And that's it. It's just kind of catching yourself out with those habits that we've created.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if you're like, gosh, I really feel like a biscuit, or I really would love some ice cream, beautiful, then enjoy and move on.
Yeah.
But if that want or would like becomes a need, I need that glass of wine, I need that cake, I need that chocolate, it's just going a step back and going, right, where is that need coming from? Can that need be replaced by something else? Hug from your little one, a call with a girlfriend, brisk walk again, listening to your favorite music, to detract from that trigger that's always going to be there, but we create a different action that's more in alignment with our intentions and how we want to live.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's very in line with one of the questions we had from one of our beautiful she's actually a member of the Balanced Business Tribe. And she asked specifically about cravings. One of the things that she's having mostly is like cravings for salt and sort of sour stuff. But I know we spoke about this previously, and cravings in general, I'd love for us to cover off on that.
So let's look at cravings in general, and then we'll address that specific question too. So generally when we crave stuff, it's either I need that sugar, I need that chocolate, or the sweetness, or sometimes it's craving the heavier, kind of more carby, the toast, the pastas, the stuff that just makes us go, So with the sugar cravings, it's not the fact that we've got terrible willpower, it's the fact that it's science. So when we eat a lot of sugars, what's happening is we're spiking our blood sugar levels. So it makes sense. We're eating a high amount of sugar, our blood sugar levels rise. Our body is designed to have lower blood sugar levels and consistent. So insulin is released into the body that brings the sugar levels down. It takes that, it's now called glycogen when it's in the body. It takes it and stores it in our muscles and then in our liver for later use, for fuel. The rest of it then gets converted into fat. Thanks. And then it's added to our current fat stores. So that's what happens when we eat sugar. So that's why it's being mindful to keep it lower. So when our blood sugar levels go up, our body brings those blood sugar levels down, but then they can go too low. And that is when we're like fiending for sugar. So that's when it happens. So when I bring in, my only one rule of thumb is a balanced snack or meal is, do you have protein? Do you have some kind of fat? And do you have some kind of carbohydrate, which is salad, vegetables, some fruits? It's not carbohydrates as we know it, which is the bread, pastas that I just talked about. So as I said, it's not just the fact that we've got terrible willpower and we should just not have that chocolate cake or the sweet stuff. It's science. Our body is needing it because of that crash and burn that we've put ourselves on. So going back to then craving the other types of carbs, it's like a comfort. They make us feel good. It releases serotonin in the body. So again, it's like a science thing. But there's some emotion attachment that comes into wanting those carbs as well, because it reminds us of a home cooked meal or, a night out, and it makes us feel good. So there's that kind of memory that's going on there as well. Now, more specifically, if you're craving the saltier or those types of cravings, it's a deficiency in the body. So there's a real myth that we can get all of our nutrients from our food. We simply can't. They give us some. Supplementation is key. But also when we are getting those specific cravings is actually looking further and, getting some bloods done so that you can see in your bloods what's missing, and then work with some natural supplements to lift where we're losing out, basically. And the body is quite an intricate thing. I've got a nail file in my hand for some reason. It's becoming my pointer. I don't know why.
That's fine.
So yes, we might not be absorbing specific nutrients. So then it's looking down that more naturopathic route to go, right, how can I allow my body to function as it should so I can absorb these minerals? So it's really just your body's way of saying, hey, it's not quite working as it should. Let's look into this.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of going into another realm now, but it's with supplementation of, I'm feeling really tired, I'm going to go on and get some iron. But we might not need it. So it's getting that kind of professional blood test. Right, what am I actually deficient in? Great, let's work on a path forward to bring these nutrients back into play. So that's when you're craving like the saltier type foods as well.
Yeah. And it is a common thing in a lot of women too, the lack of iron. And that's from a lot of things. Obviously, our women's business.
Our cycles. Yes,
cycle.
Exactly. And if we're not eating much, hugely. And if veganism is quite rife, as is vegetarianism. So it's not getting the full support from the meats that we have. Yeah. So it's, rather than kind of diagnosing ourselves going, I'm tired, I'm going to have iron, just get a blood test done so you can actually see if you are deficient or if you're just not absorbing properly.
Yeah, because a lot of that is the absorption as well.
Yes, a huge amount.
Yeah.
So it's like when you take some supplements and your pee like it's bright yellow. It's like, well, they're just not passing into the body properly. So what's going on there?
Yeah, that's it. I love that. Investigation is always the key.
Yes. Rather than self-diagnosis.
Yeah, and we're all very different. So it's good to go and check your body specifically, what's happening there. What is your take on dairy? Just throwing that out there.
My take on dairy, and this is where I get quite specific in what I guess my ethos and how I live my life. For me, it makes me feel horrible. Yeah. My only disclaimer is I love cheese and I'm always going to eat cheese, but I'm just not going to have a lot of it every day because it makes me feel horrendous if I do. Yes. So if I have, the odd slice here and there, beautiful, because I love it. But our dairy has to go through a lot of processing before we can actually consume it as humans. Yes. So for me, that just has a lot of preservatives in there and things that our body doesn't really recognize, where I love the more natural milks. There's almond and coconut, and I see mums making their own coconut milk and almond milk in their amazing blenders that cost like thousands, but they are phenomenal. So it's something that our body recognizes and takes on board. So if your body feels okay with dairy, then keep it in. But if you're getting that bloating and you notice that after having, I don't know, maybe an omelette with milk and your stomach's like, ugh, maybe start reducing it and see how you feel. And that's how I really promote what I do is, if it feels good, then continue. Yeah. But if it doesn't, and most of us aren't great with dairy, then just bring it back to having it a few times a week, so it's not your day-to-day nutrition. Yeah,
absolutely. I think I used to not realize what the sign was, but I'd wonder why I ate ice cream and then my stomach would be actually sore to touch.
Yeah.
And
I'm the same
until afterwards that it was a form of dairy intolerance.
Exactly.
So we don't drink normal milk now. We still sneak ice cream every now and then.
Because that's living a full life, and why would we not?
But we sort of go the almond milk, and I'm like, I like cheese.
Yeah. Oh gosh. I tell you what, if I was told by someone that I could never have my cheese and my platters and glass of wine again, I'm like, well, I'm sorry, that's not living to me. Yeah. So that's the holistic part. Fun is a huge part of living a healthy, full life.
Yeah.
So if we're on a diet for 80% of our lives, that's miserable.
Yeah.
Not going to work. Not going to be sustainable, as you know.
No, but it's a really good tip to remember to look at the signs your body's giving you. If you've eaten something, it's one thing that I was told, that is, if you eat something and you feel like you need to go to sleep straight away, then it's probably not something your body really wanted. It's not fueling your body, it's having the opposite.
That's it. Your body's having to expend its energy on, what is this? What am I breaking down? Shut down.
Yeah.
That's a really good point, Teresa. And I know a lot of people experience that afternoon slump.
Yeah.
So just look at the day in the lead up. Maybe you're not having enough food. Maybe it's too full of the sugars and the carbohydrates and not enough protein and good fats to really fuel you through that slump.
Yeah.
And now, touch wood, I touch my head as well. Myself and my clients, we don't get it. So it feels good.
Yeah. I only experience those usually on Christmas Day.
Oh, the food coma. How good are they though? And you're like watching a film like, oh, I'm so full.
Yeah, the turkey.
But that's part of Christmas Day. Yeah, I get that.
Well, thank you so much, Dani. So the nutrition part, the nutrition is a huge part of anyone's life because it is the fuel that goes into our bodies to fuel us. So
exactly.
Without that fuel, without having that beautiful, healthy body to be able to move and do stuff, we are kind of no good to anyone. That's just reality.
That's it. And do you know, as women, and we've spoken about this before, Teresa, we are so selfless that everything else comes first. And, you know, we come last on our priority list. Just imagine if we took 10, 15 minutes at the start of that day to be the sole focus for that amount of time, short amount of time. How much better can we be for not only ourselves, but for everything else that we do as Wonder Women, where you put that cape on in the morning? How much better are we going to be if we spend that little bit of time just for us? It's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. So nutrition is actually one of the 8 elements in the balanced business circle. So that's starting up on the 18th, which I think is probably now 2 weeks away.
A couple of weeks, yeah.
Oh my God, that's really fast. So that's one of the 8 elements. Obviously, there's movement, looking at business boundaries and things like that. But it all comes together in one big holistic round.
Beautiful.
So that's starting then. The link for that, if anyone is interested, is bit.ly, capital B, another capital B, and then circle. So please feel free to go and head in there and have a look at the details for that. And Dani has a very special present as well for you.
I do, and I'm so honoured to be sharing this with you. It's 90 minutes of intensive work with me, and this 90 minutes sets us up to create lifelong change. Because the one reason that I see so many women failing at their dieting and getting healthy is that they don't have clear-cut intentions, and what I've now created is an anchor of desire. So this 90 minutes, we create your very own anchor of desire. So you imagine the anchor. On one side, you've got your intentions. How do you want to feel? What is it that you want to achieve that's so important to you? And on the other side of that anchor, you've got the woman you desire. Now, this is the woman that you know that is there deep down in your core, but she's here and you're here. And it's just aligning these two. So it's the anchor of the desire that aligns to create that lifelong change. Because as we spoke about, we know the things that are healthy and we know how to eat to fuel our bodies well. It's just what's happening in between up here. So once we change those neural pathways and we've got that really strong anchor of desire, it becomes so much easier to make lifelong change. So I would like to give away some 90-minute intensive sessions to really get laser clear on your anchor of desire.
Beautiful. That's amazing. And that 90 minutes will be so amazing because you can get really down and deep in those things that you really want to change and start making some big movement on.
Absolutely.
And how can our beautiful listeners get in contact with you for that, Dani? Is that just
absolutely? Now, I think the easiest way is just finding me on Facebook. So my Facebook page is Facebook/Dani, DANI, Vitality, and just send me a message there, and then we can book in for something.
Perfect. And just make sure you mention the interview so that Dani knows where you come from.
Yeah, you're not just like getting some free 90 minutes of my time.
Yeah, you're just random.
Good idea. Thanks for that. See, I knew that's why I'm listening to you, Teresa.
Oh, good.
You're like the dot the I's, cross the T's.
Yeah.
I'm like that. Oh, I've got this amazing idea.
Oh, honestly, I get so many random messages each day. It's really good to know specifically where
you come from.
Yeah.
Amazing. And then Teresa, if there are any questions after this, I would love to be able to help. So let's have like a Q&A afterwards if I can help in any way.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's an amazing idea.
Beautiful.
Awesome.
So nice talking to you.
You too. Thank you so much. And
You're
I know
welcome.
that the listeners will get so many great tips out of this. And we really appreciate your time today.
And I appreciate you. Thanks, Teresa.
Thank you. We'll chat to you soon.
See you.